Welcome and thank you. Thank you for your interest in our DuPage County budget. This is my 5th budget season as chairman, and it's an unusual one to be sure. For the first time ever, I believe, a DuPage chairman is making a budget proposal without having a final state budget approved by the General Assembly. That said, at this time of year, we concentrate on our priorities, on our responsibilities, and on our own balanced fiscal plan. This year, we put forth what can best be described as a maintenance budget that offers flexibility within reason to adapt and adjust to decisions made in Springfield. Each year, our focus is on providing excellent service to taxpayers while providing efficiency and value for each dollar spent. Let's start with some good news, if I may, please. Our county's most recent unemployment rate is at 5.1%, among the lowest in the region. Last year, there were 118 new business projects that located in DuPage County. This is good news. So we have low unemployment and 118 new business projects, including investments of more than $1 million each, bringing in at least 50 jobs each for each one of those 118 new projects, and occupying more than 25,000 square feet of space per project. Now, to put that in perspective, that's more new economic development projects in DuPage than in Kane, Will, and Lake counties combined, and more than 4 times the number that located in the 4 counties of northwest Indiana. So you hear a lot about Indiana. I think we are certainly outperforming what's going on over there. More good news. The DuPage Convention and Visitors Bureau reports that 2014 was a record year for tourism in DuPage, contributing more than $40 million in local tax receipts. This represents a more than 4.5% increase over 2013. DuPage County, as you know, enjoys a AAA bond rating from all 3 rating agencies, and we're only one of a very few number of communities in the United States. Less than 1% of local governments across the nation enjoy that AAA bond rating. So that's more good news. Look, I'm very pleased to say that DuPage County taxpayers will not face an increase in the county portion of their property taxes in FY 2016. No increase in property taxes. Let me offer a few budget highlights, if I may. My 2016 budget proposal adds up to $443.8 million, which is $5.7 million under last year's budget. We've maintained quality services without increasing costs to taxpayers. The largest single area of cost, of course, is personnel. The full-time budgeted headcount is 2,216 for this fiscal year 2016 as compared to 2,270 when I took office 5 years ago. On the revenue side, there is positive news throughout the county regarding sales tax. We are anticipating sales tax growth of about 4.8% in FY 2016. Furthermore, our total property tax levy remains flat at $66.9 million. So for my 5th year in a row now, we will not raise the county property tax, not one dime. Now, I'll remind folks that the county portion of the average property tax bill adds up to less than 3% of that bill. So it gives you a little perspective on where the county government stands in terms of your property taxes. In addition to seeking your feedback on our budget proposal, this year we're also asking citizens to weigh in on our strategic plan, which is the basis for our financial planning. As a county board, we remain committed to the following 5 strategic priorities. 1, to offer our residents the highest quality of life possible, keeping people safe in their homes and maintaining our social service safety net for those in need. 2, we remain committed to careful financial planning and keeping a lid on costs. 3, we aim to improve our customer service at every turn, informing residents about our programs and services and making it easy to do business with and within the county. 4, we will build on the successes of the ACT initiative, and of course we know that that stands for accountability, consolidation, and transparency, and implement the principles of quality and leadership across government. 5, our entire board is committed to strong economic development, growing employment, particularly for those who've recently found themselves without a job. That's a big part of our mission. So to sum up, here in DuPage, we are committed to running a streamlined government that doesn't skimp on service. We believe our careful financial planning and our conservative spending approach has served us very well and will continue to serve us and the taxpayers through fiscal 2016. With that, I introduce our Finance Committee Chairman, Paul Fichtner, who will talk a little bit about our DuPage County budget process and the calendar. Paul, why don't you come on up here and follow me, please, and I'll follow you. Thank you so much, Paul.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I know I echo your sentiments and those of our entire county board when I say that our DuPage budget process is not complete without feedback from our residents. We believe that a truly open, transparent government allows for an ongoing conversation with voters. This online presentation and feedback loop ensures that your voice is heard throughout our budgeting process. Please respond to the survey available on the county webpage, which allows you to weigh in and share your thoughts about our budget proposal and our county's draft strategic plan. Your comments provide valuable insight and information that we take back to our fellow board members as we discuss spending priorities in the county. The final budget will then be voted on by the Finance Committee on October 27th. The public then will have nearly a month to again provide input before the budget is voted on by the county board on November 24th. As a reminder, all of our meetings are open to all, with a public comment period available on each agenda. And then the new fiscal year starts December 1st. There will be a lot of numbers discussed, but if you take away anything from tonight's hearing, please remember that less than 3% of your property tax bill pays for county government services. The rest of your bill goes toward municipalities, townships, schools, park districts, etc. It's also important to note that for the 8th year in a row, we are not raising property taxes. So the amount of property taxes that you've paid on your bill for the past 8 years for county services under the property tax line item of DuPage County has been a 0% increase. As you will see in this year's budget presentation, we have continued to streamline spending while maintaining the quality of services that you depend on. As a reminder, all of our county's financial information and policies are available online at dupageco.org, dupageco.org. With that said, I will now turn the program over to Paul Rafac, our Chief Financial Officer. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul Fichtner, and thank you, the public, for viewing this budget presentation. Chairman Cronin's recommended 2016 budget covers the county's debt service requirements, operations, and capital infrastructure programs. This draft budget does not include special service areas, which are funded with a location-specific property tax and are used to fund water and sewer infrastructure projects. These will be separately approved by the county board and included in the final budget. It also does not include the Health Department and Emergency Telephone System Board budgets. These budgets are developed independently, reviewed by their respective boards, and presented to the county board at a later date. And finally, it doesn't include grants, which are approved throughout the course of the fiscal year. The chairman presented his recommendation to the county board on September 8th. The County Finance Committee, chaired by member Paul Fichtner, is now deliberating on this recommended budget and will pass a proposed final budget to the board on October 27th. Committee meetings are open to the public. The county board will approve the final budget on November 24th. The recommended fiscal year 2016 budget totals $443.8 million. This is $5.7 million less than the originally approved fiscal year 2015 budget of $449.5 million. The majority of this change is due to completion of work on capital projects during 2015. The county's chief operating fund, the general fund, is recommended at $182.3 million, a $5.2 million or 3% increase. Full-time headcount reduces slightly to 2,200 2016. Beyond controlling staff levels, the county board has taken steps to limit cash payouts for benefits, limit health insurance costs, and reduce future pension liabilities. Adjusting for transfers out, overall personnel costs grow $400,000 or 0.2% to accommodate a proposed 2.0% cost of living adjustment. Commodities and contractual costs are down $6.7 million or 6.4%. The 2016 budget was derived and designed around 6 parameters. First, no property tax increases. The proposed $66.6 million property tax levy, or $66.9 million extension, is unchanged from the prior year. Per county policy, property taxes are considered only after cutting expenses and looking at fee-for-service increases. Parameter 2, conservative revenue estimates. The budget relies only on normal revenue growth with no fees or taxes. The primary driver of revenue is sales tax. Fiscal year 2016 projections of 4.8% are consistent with fiscal year 2015 year-to-date figures. Parameter 3, meet debt and pension obligations. While the county has sought to minimize the use of debt service obligations get priority in budget development. The county uses only 2.4% of its legal debt limit, and annual appropriations for general obligation debt service constitute less than 8% of the budget. The county also meets its pension obligations as set by the Illinois Municipal Retirement Fund. Parameter 4, control operating expenses. A long-term county focus has been to control personnel costs, which account for 44% of the total budget. The county has also actively engaged in ways to consolidate or share services with other entities. For example, in fiscal year 2012, the county entered into an agreement with Kane County for juvenile detention services, saving $1.3 million annually. Parameter number 5, balanced general fund budget. The general fund is the primary operating fund covering 2/3 of staff. It can legally be used to supplement various special purpose programs. The proposed general fund fiscal year 2016 budget is balanced at $182.3 million based solely on anticipated revenues. And finally, parameter 6, maintain healthy and stable general fund reserves. Fund balance is essential to maintaining county services in the event of an economic downturn. Prudent management has allowed the county to improve its balance even during the Great and recent recession. The fiscal year 2016 ending fund balance is projected to remain unchanged from fiscal year 2015 at $68.6 million. County sales taxes are the single largest source of county revenue, accounting for 55% of general fund revenues and 31% of total revenues. Altogether, the county receives 1/2 cent per dollar on applicable sales on a county-wide basis and an additional 1 cent per dollar on applicable sales made within unincorporated areas. The county also receives use tax for titled or registered items purchased outside of state, such as automobiles. Sales tax revenue is now back to pre-recession levels and is the source of almost all natural revenue growth. The not seasonally adjusted June 2015 DuPage County unemployment rate is 5.1%, compared to seasonally adjusted rates of 5.9% for Illinois and 5.3% for the nation. No near-term recession is foreseen. The current 5-year outlook estimates sales tax revenues to grow by 4.8% in fiscal year 2016 and 3.75% in subsequent years. Property taxes are the second largest county revenue source. The county clerk is charged to extend the taxes for all DuPage taxing bodies, while the county treasurer is charged to collect them for all local taxing bodies. The county board does not levy for other units of government such as municipalities, parks, various districts, or schools. Each of these units levies independently of the county. Almost 3/4 of all property tax levies are levied by school districts. The county's aggregate proposed 2015 levy for the 2016 budget year is unchanged from the prior year at $66.6 million and extended at $66.9 million. The levy includes $17.9 million for health department operations. The county's 2015 property tax levy, collected in 2016, will make up less than 3% of DuPage County taxpayers' total property tax bill. Over a 10-year period, the county property tax extension has increased by 7%. In total, over the same time period, all other governmental entities within the county saw their property tax extension increase by 32.5%. Aside from levying for the expired Warrenville TIF levy in 2010, the county has not raised property taxes since the 2007 tax levy year. Motor fuel taxes are the third largest county tax revenue and provide nearly 75% of the Division of Transportation income. These dedicated revenues support transportation planning, operations, and construction. The county local gas tax is a flat 4 cents per gallon. The county also receives intergovernmental distributions from a statewide motor fuel tax. The blue and green bars on this graph show the amounts available for road construction and maintenance purposes and are net of debt service. The debt service is required for the recently refunded 2015A motor fuel tax bonds, and that is reflected in the red bar. While income from these two sources is sufficient to meet normal highway operating expenses, dollars available for major construction projects continue to decline. These amounts may be supplemented by federal and state grants for local transportation projects. And also in 2010, we used recovery zone bonds to provide an additional $15.3 million for transportation construction projects and did not involve a county motor fuel tax pledge for the debt service. As the statewide motor fuel tax is not being distributed due to the budget stalemate in Springfield, the local gas tax is covering our debt service obligations, further minimizing our ability to do major construction projects. County budgets are constructed by fund, controlled by the kind of expenses the underlying revenues can legally support. This slide shows the recommended budget and headcount by government function. The general government and support function includes internal service departments such as finance, human resources, information technology, and facilities maintenance. It also includes the treasurer, county clerk, recorder, and building and zoning. Government services are staff-intensive, especially public safety, which has a budgeted headcount of 1,181 and accounts for over half of total full-time positions. Public safety includes the sheriff's office, the clerk of the circuit court's office, the probation department, the state's attorney's office, the public defender's office, and other programs affiliated with the court system. The next largest area of headcount is health and human services at 421, or 89% of the total, 421. 89% of these positions operate the County Convalescent Center, a 24/7 facility providing geriatric and convalescent care. Transportation and economic development and environmental and land management functions, the final two functions, include physical infrastructure like roads, stormwater, drainage, and water and sewer. While these departments account for 12% of full-time staff, they account for 27% of the budget. Capital improvement plans. The county defines capital assets as any tangible item over $5,000. This includes physical structures such as buildings, county highways, water and sewer facilities, as well as automobiles and equipment. In fiscal year 2016, overall capital spending drops as projects initiated in prior years have been completed or have had substantial activity. Capital details and 5-year plans are available in the proposed fiscal year 2016 financial plan. Now to summarize with some selected highlights, As previously noted, the fiscal year 2016 budget holds the line on property taxes with no increase. The overall budget is reduced by $5.7 million to $443.8 million. Relative to our original approved fiscal year 2015 budget. This marks the sixth straight year the overall budget has been reduced. The budget maintains stable staffing while continuing current services and programs. The budget provides continuing investment in county infrastructure and facilities. The budget again provides $1 million in support to an estimated 45 community service organizations operating within the county. Additionally, the budget contains $100,000 for our continuing heroin prevention program. Finally, the county maintains a AAA bond rating by all major investment rating agencies. Nationwide, 1% of all counties are AAA rated by all three major rating services. This conservative, balanced budget will help maintain that status. The recommended budget is available online, as are other resources. Thank you for your time.